What is going on, everybody? Kyle Murray from FTN Daily back again with the Prizepicks prop show. It is January 17th. We're here on a Tuesday, so that means we have some NBA picks here for you on the Prizepicks street. I got 3 NBA props for you guys to consider here on this short 4-game slate, but still money to be made here, so let's get into it. Before we get into my picks, if you're a new user over at Prizepicks, head over there, use code FTN, get yourself a 100% match up to $100. Great way to get that bankroll started, and hopefully these 3 picks will help you further progress that bankroll. Before we get into my picks, let me know in the comments below who are some of your favorite picks. Who are you tailing? Who are you playing on? Maybe who are you fading? Whatever it may be, let me know what your plan is over on the Prizepicks streets down low in the comments below. And as always, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is coming. We've been pumping out a ton of Prizepicks content and other content as well, but a ton more Prizepicks content will be continuously hitting the channel. So if you're looking for some of that, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on that. So let's get into my picks now without further ado. Pick number 1, we're going to Trey Jones here, over 22.5 points plus assists. Now, if you want to just take the over on his points, I'm totally fine with that number as well. He's gone over this number in each of his last 6 games, the 15.5 point total there. And it does sort of feel like when he's going over the points plus assist number, it's in large part due to strong scoring nights, but it's just mainly because he's been so consistent as a passer. He's averaging 6.5 assists per game, 6.5 over the last 5 as well. He's gone over 6 assists in 7 of his last 10 games. So he's just been really consistent in terms of his assist numbers. And now over the last 6 games, he's seen a nice little uptick in scoring, averaging over 20 points per game. In that time frame, he's gone over 21 points in 3 of his last 6 games and 16 plus points in each of his last 6. So it's sort of been a nice little uptick in points for Trey Jones, and that's obviously what's going to push along the points plus assists. But his involvement in the offensive game script for the Spurs has just been so dominant, where he's just consistently pumping out these assists. So I'm going to kind of parlay both of these together, the points plus the assists, in hopes that if he has a good scoring game, it's only going to help it out. But maybe he doesn't need to score 20 plus points to hit this number with the strong assist upside as well. So like I mentioned, in terms of the matchup for Trey Jones, it's a plus matchup in terms of 3-pointers allowed, 3-point percentage allowed, and free throws allowed. So it should be a pretty good scoring spot for Trey Jones as well. So the official pick here is Trey Jones over 22.5 points plus assists. But if you like just the points, totally fine with that as well. Now, not kind of going to a player on the other sort of the side of the spectrum here in terms of a guy who hasn't really been hitting his number as frequently as someone like Trey Jones has been. It's Jamal Murray, over 23.5 points plus rebounds here. Now, when you look at Jamal Murray's points, you guys are going to hear me talk about hits and misses and recent trends a whole lot, because in prop betting, especially in a long NBA season, there's going to be ebbs and flows of the season that kind of show you kind of a greater micro view of a team's usage or a player's usage or how they're breaking down their offense, whatever it may be. And that's why I think trends are very important, and that's why I really like to look at matchups as well. And I talk about hits and misses, or how often they get to the certain number or whatever that may be. And this is a case where Jamal Murray has gone under this number in 6 of his last 10 games on his points total, which is set at 18.5. And like I mentioned, the points plus rebounds is 23.5. But for now, talking about points, 18.5, he's gone under this number in 6 of 10 and in 4 of his last 6. So he's gone under that number. But just for context, even though he's gone under this number, he's still averaging north of 21 points per game in his last 6 games. And that's due to the fact that he's creeped right up to this 18.5 line. He scored 18 plus points in 5 of his last 6 games. So it is important to kind of peel back that layer and add that additional layer of context here. That's from the point side of things of this play here for Jamal Murray. In terms of the rebounding, he's been a very good rebounder. Over his last 10 games, he has 4 plus rebounds in 7 of those games. His line is at 3.5. So if we can get 5-6 rebounds here, that would go a long way. He has 5 plus rebounds in 4 of his last 10 as well. So Jamal Murray is producing pretty consistently on the glass, so that should be helpful here. And again, I think that this is just a really good matchup for him to potentially bounce back scoring-wise. In terms of what we're looking at matchup-wise against this Portland defense, it's a plus matchup in terms of field goal percentage allowed, 3-point percentage allowed, and free throws allowed to opposing guards. So I like this spot here for Jamal Murray. So I'm taking the over 23.5 points plus rebounds there. Now, pick number 3, final pick of the video, Joel Embiid, over 31.5 points. Last time he played the Clippers, he went for 44 points against these guys 2 days before Christmas, so not too long ago, about 10 games ago to be exact. Embiid's gone over this number in 7 of his last 10. He has 30 plus points though in 9 of his last 10 games. Again, adding that extra layer of context, he's been creeping up to this number consistently. And when you put up 30 points, you're 2 points shy. You're 1 bucket away from hitting the over on this number. So this could easily be a 9 out of 10 sort of trend here for Joel Embiid. Instead, it's a 70% hit rate in that last 10 games, 10 game frame there. So like this spot here for Embiid. When you look at a lot of the matchup stuff from an overall standpoint, the Clippers defense has actually been pretty good. Sounds like they have a chance to get Paul George back, but not necessarily relying on that. But in terms of where they've been weak, it's been against centers and opposing big men. They rank 25th in defensive efficiency against opposing big men. So it should be a really strong spot for Joel Embiid, which, there's a lot of evidence considering he just scored 44 points against this team last time you saw him just a few weeks ago. So over 31.5 points is the play for Embiid, who's averaging 35 points per game over his last 10 and 34.5 points per game over his last 5. So again, really like this number for Joel Embiid. And you can never really feel too bad about betting an over on the superstar like Joel Embiid. So those are my picks for the day. Just to recap, Trey Jones over 22.5 points plus assists, Jamal Murray over 23.5 points plus rebounds, and last but not least, Joel Embiid over 31.5 points in that matchup against the Clippers. So, like I mentioned, only 4 games tonight, so it's a fairly short slate, but there's still money to be made here, so hopefully you guys can go out there and get some green screens over on Prizepicks. And again, let me know who you're betting on in the bottom of the video here, comment section below. Let me know who you guys are placing your money on tonight. But that's going to do it for me. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, good luck, everybody.